Okay, that's my 5th application done. I hope I at least get one of them. We're happy to inform you that we loved your application. Start Monday. Oh my god. Can't believe I just got a job. Application 1572. I've literally been auto-applying on Sprout for ages. How long is this gonna take?
The 2025 job market has been rough to say the least. Honestly, it's been a freaking disaster. We have watched some of the country's largest companies like Amazon, Meta, and UPS lay off thousands of workers at a time. So far in 2025, 1.1 million people have been laid off, which is just as bad as when we had the pandemic in 2020. And it's not just white collar workers, it's also blue collar workers who are being laid off in droves. So, what's really going on? Why do we have workers who have certifications, degrees, and years of experience suddenly finding themselves unemployed or unemployable? We've got the rise of AI replacing workers overnight, corporations expecting employees to do 5 jobs at once, corporate greed, and even just interviewers ghosting candidates. So, today we're going to take a look at what the good people of TikTok have to say about this horrible job market in 2025. But before we do that, I just want to say, hey, my name is Miss April May, and I hope you're having a blessed day. If this is your first time visiting my channel, thanks for stopping by. And if you've been here before, thanks for coming back. Either way, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Now, let's get to it.
Well, another week, another crock of fucking bullshit. I have been posting about the job market and me trying to find something and how every single fucking time that I go through an extensive interview process, they either end up hiring internally or B, they just completely ghost you. 2 weeks ago, I had my first interview with the company, and it was for a fully remote position, which is what I need. It's a long story, but I have no other fucking option. I have to have something that's remote. Literally, every single thing in the job description is something that I have done for minimum 5 years, max 15, depending on the task. In the first interview, she was literally like, yes, like this is going to be an easy transition. We needed to hire somebody like yesterday. You're perfect for this. You already know how to do everything. Obviously, I fucking nailed the interview. And she was like, I am just here to let you know right now that we will definitely get back to you as soon as possible because we think it's disrespectful to just like leave people hanging. Me and the girl were like totally vibing. It was like a very comfortable interview. I felt like, wow, like, okay, this is great. 20 minutes after my first interview, she invites me to a second interview with the entire executive team. They were like, when can you interview? We want to get you in as soon as possible. Like, the team is so excited to meet you. I was like, I can do Monday anytime. Like, this was like on a Friday. And she was like, okay, perfect. They did it very first thing in the morning, 9 a.m. on Monday. Usually, in my experience, if you get a second interview that fast after the first and then they're like immediately trying to have it, it's like usually a good sign. I go into the second interview, literally goes so well. Me, all of the 5 other people that were on there, vibing, I'm making them laugh. I'm like killing it, answering the questions. They're just like, yes, 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 yes. As soon as the interview is basically over, they're just like, we're going to be right back with you. Have an amazing day. It was so great to meet you. Yada, 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 yada. That was a week ago today that I had my second interview. Now, about 3 hours after that interview, I had emailed her and I was like, hey, I totally forgot to ask on the call, when are you guys looking to make a decision? Super excited about this, whatever, because that is typically a question that I ask in an interview, like, when are you guys looking to make the decision? Just in case you don't talk to me for 2 fucking weeks and I know why, it's because you're still going through the process, right? No response. So I'm like, oh, okay, like, that's fine. Like, we just had the interview. I know they were doing interviews on Tuesday. So, probably they'll write me Tuesday, maybe even Wednesday at the latest. No, just no response on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I sent a second follow-up email because they were saying that they wanted to get somebody started, like, as soon as possible. And I was just like, hey, like, hope you're having a great week. I just wanted to follow back up on this and see where we're at in the process. I had a great time meeting you all, and I really look forward to hearing back from you. That was last Thursday. Today is Monday. No fucking response. And as of right now, it is 2:30 where they are located. So their day is like almost over. No response. He just completely fucking ghosted 2 of my emails. So what I'm going to do, and what I have done, is I've drafted up an email just saying, hello. Hope you're having a great week. I really want to first say thank you for all of your time over the past couple of weeks. I also am going to go ahead and assume that you've moved forward with another candidate, which is totally fine. However, I must say that this is extremely disheartening because in our first phone call, you made it very clear that you felt like it would be disrespectful to not get back to somebody quickly. And I've been checking my email every 10 minutes for a week with no response and 2 ghosted emails. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but the job market is terrible. Most often with companies, they either hire internally or completely ghost you. And I've been dealing with this with companies for weeks now. Like, people are struggling out here. It's so hard to even get an interview. So when you do get an interview, it feels like a sliver of hope. And then when a company just completely fucking blows you off, you can't even so much as say, hey, we move forward with somebody else. It's basically like a kick in the teeth. So I'm not sending this to you to get any sort of sympathy or to berate anybody. It's just a friendly suggestion that maybe you should treat your applicants with a little bit more care and respect in the future. So I really hope you found what you were looking for, and right. Like, let's normalize calling these fucking people out for their bullshit, because why would you even go through this whole process with me for weeks, interviewing, telling me, oh, yeah, like, you're the greatest, you're the best, like, da 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 da, like they do in every fucking interview. Oh my gosh, you're so amazing, we love you, we love your energy, we can't wait to, da 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 da, and saying things like, we're telling you everything about the company right now because we just assume you'll be starting with us next week. Just to turn around and completely fucking ghost me? Like, you can't even have the fucking balls to say no? Like, what the fuck? It is so ridiculous trying to find a job right now, like, seriously. Oh, and then having to find one that's remote in this day and age. Yeah, that's like throwing a needle into a fucking haystack. So I'm not really sure what the fuck to do. But honestly, if you're an employer watching this, I highly recommend that if you put somebody through a fucking process, first of all, don't make like weird little promises that you're not gonna keep. But also, if you're not gonna hire somebody, that's okay. But at least have the fucking decency to let them know, so they're not just sitting here waiting for a response from you when you've already fucking probably hired somebody. It's rude.
So there's like this new phenomenon of interviewers ghosting candidates, right? And this has also happened to me where you think everything's going fine. Maybe you go through like the first interview, second interview, and then you hear nothing. And then, like, maybe weeks later, you get this canned email response like, thanks for applying, but unfortunately, moving along with another candidate, blah, 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 right? And it's like, damn, you already got to deal with ghosting in the dating world, especially like if you use dating apps, but now you got to deal with ghosting with a job too. Like, can we catch a break? That's number one. But also, I think sometimes these jobs kind of have like quotas that they have to fulfill, for like number of people that they have to reach out to, especially like with recruiters. Sometimes they have quotas for a number of people that they have to reach out to. And then sometimes, like even years ago, I used to work at a community college, right? And it was very well known that even if you had someone working in one of the offices at the school and you knew they'll probably get this job, this new job position that's opening up, but the school, it was still a requirement that they had to post that job for everyone, for whoever wanted to apply for external candidates. So the job didn't like automatically go to that employee that was already working for the school, even though everyone knew they were going to get the job. So I do think there's a bit of like quota filling, especially like with recruiters.
After 3 rounds of interviews for this company, I log on to LinkedIn this morning and they reposted the same position with a lower salary range. That's the job market that we're in. And I honestly would have had more respect for the company had they reached out and said, hey, the budget for this position has changed. Are you still interested? But no, they just reposted it. And I haven't even got word if I didn't receive the job yet. I haven't got an email. I haven't got a phone call. I haven't got anything that says, hey, we're going to go a different direction. Nothing. But that job is reposted on LinkedIn with the lower salary range. It's just truly so inspiring.
But the fact that so many people are being ghosted in the job application process, to me, also points to the fact that these jobs and the hiring managers, the recruiters, whoever's doing the hiring for that particular position, don't really see the value in our time. And it's also a signal that the job market has flipped, where now the companies and the corporations are on top, and it's no longer the employees. Now it is the companies have the power. They are able to hold this position over you and not let you know, hey, did you get the position or not? That they can just take their sweet time. Because if the job market was different, if the conditions of the job market were different, and there were, less employees or less candidates for a particular job, I guarantee you the companies will hire quickly. You wouldn't have to go through 2, 3, 4 round interviews. And what is that about? 2, 3, 4 round interviews? Crazy work. So this is kind of the same point that I was making a second ago. Companies are like purposely trying to devalue our work and our skills and our labor. And this guy hit the nail on the head when he said, okay, I applied for this job. And then later on, I saw that the same job was reposted with a lower salary scale, right? So they probably interviewed him and interviewed whoever else. And then at some point realized, hey, we could probably find someone else to do this same job for less money, because ultimately that's what they want. They either want to hire you for less money or hire you and have you do 2 or 3 jobs, right? Because then they get to keep more profits and all of that. But it is a way to devalue you and your skills and your labor. So that way you, workers, employees, candidates looking for new jobs, become so desperate that you will take whatever job you can get. That the same amount of money you would have laughed at before, you'll be willing to take it and you'll be willing to do that job gladly, because that is better than you being homeless. That is the point.
When y'all said the job market was cooked, I thought you meant like 6-figure jobs. Why did I just get rejected for a job at Walmart? No. Maybe you didn't hear me right. Walmart. I have a 4-year college degree. Like, I went to college. I thought going to college was the answer, but no. This economy literally tells you after a college degree, if you don't have a direct relationship with the CEO of a company, you're cooked. I've been auto-applying on Sprout for the last 3 months in hopes of getting a job that pays me anything above $15 an hour. I am now finally getting some interviews, but moreover of the story, if you've got a job right now in this economy, keep it.
So I had to come on here and crash out for a second. I already crashed out in my family group chat, and they encouraged me that I should post this on TikTok because it's a very valid crash out. But I am literally on lunch right now from my job that I've been at for 3 years. I check my email and I get yet another denial letter from a job that I was 100% sure that I got. When I tell y'all I don't understand what it is, I don't know what it is. I've applied to over 500 jobs within this last year in 2025. Out of those 500 jobs, I might have gotten 10 interviews. I went back to school. I got a master's degree. I have all this experience that I put on my resume that I've actually done, and I still cannot land a new job when I don't know what it is. I understand the job market is terrible and all these different things that are going on, but like, come on now. So I feel like I've applied myself like so much within this last year just to try to get a better position for myself. I cannot get anything. I don't know what to do no more. I'm trying so hard to keep the faith. I'm trying so hard. I'm trying to stay positive. I'm trying to say, oh, well, maybe this wasn't the job for me. This wasn't, but come on now. Every job not the job for me. Out of 500 jobs that I've applied for, every single one was not the one for me. I said all that to say this. Because I'm desperate at this point. If y'all can give me any type of insight, any type of resume assistance, if you know a recruiter, currently work as an executive administrative assistant, but I'm trying to pivot over into IT. That is what I have my master's degree in. I went back to school, got my master's degree in information communication technology. I have hopes to become a project manager or a product manager one day. I need help. If you have anyone or know anyone or can give any type of insight to help me get a better position, I would greatly appreciate it. I know so many people on TikTok are going through this same exact thing right now. Feel this same way. Feel like they're crashing out. Feel like they can't get anything. I know y'all feel this same exact way as me. So I don't know what to do besides phone a friend. And right now I'm phoning the world because I need help. Desperately.
So now you have a lot of college grads who aren't even able to get jobs in the fields that they went to school for, right? They spent 4 years in college, all of this time and money, right? We know that college is expensive no matter where you go. So they have spent all this time and this money pursuing this degree, and they can't even use it. And a lot of people are going back to jobs that they had when they were in college and in high school. So what was the point of even going to college and getting this degree, or, going to this program and getting this certification? What was the point of all of it if you can't even use it? And then to see people applying for jobs and applying for hundreds or thousands of jobs and barely getting interviews. You have probably seen it yourself. Like, go on LinkedIn right now and just look at any job, just any job. I guarantee you, if the job has been posted for 24 hours, it has at least a couple hundred applicants. A couple hundred. I have seen some that have thousands of applicants for one job. So something else I have noticed is like people being laid off from their job and then going to get a job that's like not in their field, but they just need something. They need a way to generate some type of income, right? So like, for example, maybe someone who like works in HR, they're laid off, they've applied for other HR jobs, and now they can't find one. So they say, you know what? Unemployment's run out. I don't have any more savings, whatever. Let me just apply to the grocery store up the street from me, right? And that grocery store will turn around and say, no, you're overqualified. And when you find a job you really want, you're just going to leave anyway. So, like, isn't that what people do at jobs, right? everyone eventually usually leaves their job, right? Because they found a job with a better schedule, because they found a job with better pay, better benefits, better commute, or now it's remote, whatever. People tend to leave jobs for one reason or another. So if someone works a white collar job and now they're like, yeah, I'm going to be a barista, or I'm going to apply to be a barista, or work at the supermarket or fast food, they're just looking for a way to generate income so they're not homeless. What's the big deal, right? So the fact that you have people who have degrees and certifications and experience and this and that are now just taking any job they can get, and still when they apply for those jobs they can't even get those jobs. That is nuts. Like, we have a problem in 2025, and I don't foresee that it's going to get better in 2026, because I have heard things about, like, this plant, the Tyson chicken plant in Nebraska that just got shut down a few days ago, and all of the workers were laid off, and they'll be getting shut down, I think, in January or something like that. And I'll have a video upcoming about that. But the job market does not seem to be getting any better. It seems to be getting worse, and this will probably follow us into 2026.
The next 6 to 18 months are going to be absolutely brutal in corporate America. We are seeing what they're calling the great restructuring. We are seeing this with large companies in corporate America. They are essentially getting rid of middle management positions. They're getting rid of positions that do repetitive things over and over. So whether it's data entry, or whether it's generating reports, whether it's just positions where you're literally in meetings all day and not really getting much accomplished, we are seeing it unfold right before our eyes. Companies are making bigger and bigger investments into AI and automation in the hope that they're going to be able to get more done with less people. That means less cost, more efficiencies. So over the next 6 to 18 months, we're going to continue to see these 5-figure layoffs. We've seen it across tech, and it's only going to spread and go into other industries that are a little bit slower to adapt. So if you're working at a large corporation, or you've been in your position for a long time, get your resume ready right now while you have access to data. Start networking, start getting prepared that mentally you might actually get laid off over the next 6 to 18 months during the great corporate restructuring.
You're being conned right now. These mass layoffs that everyone is saying is because of AI, they're not. What they're doing is they're resetting the job market so that all of you start accepting roles and jobs at salaries that you would have previously laughed at. This is not a technology issue. This is a greed issue. And while, yeah, sure, AI is taking some jobs from some people, that is not what's happening here at a wide scale, right? They are doing this, and they are making people go back to the office in the hopes that they'll quit. And they're doing it so they cut costs, which is going to help their stock prices go up and their exec pay packages go up. And it's going to signal to investors that they are investing in AI and getting efficient gains and all of that, so that they look like they're, on the up and up with AI. And guess what? When they actually need humans again, guess who they're going to call? They're going to call you, but this time they're going to offer you probably maybe half the salary that you had when you left. And you're going to have been unemployed for so long that you're going to take it because you're desperate. Okay. So in a world where basically the cost of living is skyrocketing, maybe doubling, you are about to get half of your pay. And that is the future of work that no one's talking about.
So I wholeheartedly agree with, like, this idea of the great restructuring. I do think that during COVID, workers almost had too much power. At least that's what companies and corporations thought. People had too much power. Now, everyone, or most people, aside from like essential workers, cops, nurses, doctors, people like that, but everyone else pretty much was able to work remotely, which gave us the power over our time, right? We no longer had to wake up 2 hours earlier just to commute, or spend another 2 hours commuting back home. We were able to do things with our kids, to maintain our houses, and do laundry on our lunch break versus waiting till Saturday and spending all day Saturday doing our laundry, or going for a jog or working out during our lunch break, things like that. So the fact that workers, the average person, had more time and more freedom, I think that really upset them. Or even, I work in tech, right? And I remember seeing many, many, many videos on TikTok, YouTube, whatever. And it was always a day in the life of a software engineer, right? You know what I'm talking about. And it made it seem like this very soft, cushy life, working as a software engineer, right? Very soft, very cushy, a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. And I think the corporations did not like how much freedom we had. So now they're flipping it and they're saying, okay, the employees, you no longer have this freedom and you're no longer going to have like a one up on us. We're going to change the whole market so that the market is now in the favor of companies and corporations and no longer in the favor of employees. Let's take this away from them. The freedom, it's too much. Yeah, AI is taking some jobs, but not all of the jobs. A lot of the layoffs that you see aren't because AI is like actually doing the job of those people who were laid off or doing the jobs of the people that we no longer will hire. It's more so companies are taking the money that they could be paying you. They're taking that money, laying people off, and then reinvesting that money into AI, which makes their stock prices go up, which ensures that their CEOs and their executives keep their millions, millions and millions of dollars salaries and get their bonuses because the stock price has gone up. So it makes the company look good, right? I remember, years ago, or maybe not really even that long ago, to see a company lay off employees was like almost embarrassing, right? Because it pointed to there is something wrong in your company and that maybe you're losing profits. Maybe there's something wrong there that you have to lay off hundreds or thousands of people and that you might be facing a tough time in your business. But now it seems like laying off employees is just something that you do to keep profits up. So I don't know how we got here and how that all has changed, especially this year in 2025. So that's all that I have for you today. But I would like you to tell me, have you been laid off? Have you been looking for a job? How is your job hunt going? Have you gotten any interviews? Or maybe you're like a new grad and you still haven't gotten a job in your field. Let me know what's going on with you and this job market, because I think this is something that we need to share amongst each other because it's definitely a thing, and this job market is definitely affecting a lot of us. So before I go, I just want to say thank you for watching the video. Please make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. My name is Miss April May, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.
You're officially coming with me. You got that. You're the drunk.